Ever get that feeling, like we're only seeing a tiny piece of the puzzle, like our senses are just these little windows, and there's this whole universe out there we're barely glimpsing at.
That's a humbling thought, isn't it?
It really is, and it's something we're going to dig into today.
Yeah.
You sent over some really fascinating excerpts about mirrors and senses, specifically from, let me get this right, chapter 24, Kanadi, Mirror, from the Nanak Kural by Avaira,
Yes.
paired with the idea, and I love this, reflect on your senses. So before we reflect on our senses, can you give us a little background? Who was Avaiyar and what's the Nanak Kural?
Well, Avayar is a fascinating figure, a revered Tamil poet. But there's debate whether Avayar refers to one individual or a lineage of poets spanning centuries.
Wow, a lineage of poets, that's amazing.
It really is. But regardless, they left behind incredible wisdom. And the Nana Kural, it's a masterpiece, a collection of couplets touching on everything from ethics to governance to, yes, even the nature of perception.
So we're talking timeless wisdom here, and you paired that with reflect on your senses. Such a powerful idea. What comes to mind for you when you see that?
Well, the mirror, right? It's not just a physical object. It's this metaphor for self-reflection, for understanding how we perceive the world. We tend to trust our senses implicitly. Sight, sound, touch round. We take them for granted.
We really do, yeah.
But what AVR seems to suggest is that our senses can also mislead us.
Hmm.
They create our reality, but it may not be the complete reality.
That reminds me of that quote. I think it goes, we don't see things as they are, we see them as we are. Is that something you think Avear was getting at all those years ago?
It's remarkably insightful, and while we don't have a direct quote like that in the Nanakral, there's definitely resonance. One verse that comes to mind is, even as the senses vary, so varies the world that is perceived. Avire, it seems, was acutely aware of how our individual experiences, our biases, shape our understanding of the world.
So it's not enough to just see, we have to understand how we see. How does this relate to navigating a world, as you said, that's just saturated with information, opinions, everything coming at us?
It's absolutely crucial today. Think about optical illusions for a moment. Our eyes can be tricked.
Oh, absolutely. I love a good optical illusion. Even when I know what's going on, my brain's still like, what?
Exactly. And just like those illusions play with our visual perception, we can be misled in how we process other information. News, opinions, even our own memories. Aveyer's teachings encourage us to be critical, to question, to remember that our senses, while valuable, are just one lens through which to view the world.
That is a really powerful thought, that our senses are just one lens. It really makes you reevaluate how you see everything.
Exactly.
Well, this has been amazing. I'm going to be looking in the world and at myself in a whole new way.
And that's the first step, isn't it? Because if our senses are just one way of knowing, it makes you wonder, what other ways of knowing are out there? Something to ponder.